Hello everyone, back to tuning in to today's second video. Going to have a look at weather for the next 10 to 14 days. For today's second video, day 10 will take us to the 4th of November, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that. We extend GFS and ECM ensembles, may run around a couple of weeks. Have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. That gets us well into second half of November, of course. So I shall get on that for you in a moment. Just say that the first video release today was our 7 AM broadcast. And at 6 PM, we've got part 2 of the 8th Winter 2021-2022 update. It's going to be a QBO special, this one, showing you QBO analogues or easterly QBO analogues. It's an interesting watch, I can promise you that. So make sure you're around the channel at 6 to see part 2 of the 8th Winter 2021-2022 update. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Right, okay, turning off the webcam, and we shall commence the video. Here we go, then. So we're going to start off central temperature. The CT is currently standing at 12.4. That is 1.4 degrees above average. That's provisional to yesterday, to the 24th of October. I think we're coming out somewhere in the upper 11s by month's end. GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles the next couple of weeks looking like this. So the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London. Today we're starting off near normal at the moment. We're going to see the upper air temperatures dropping a little bit over the next 24 hours or so. And then through the middle part of the week, a big push up in the upper air temperature. It's going to get quite warm as we go into the middle part of the week, significantly above average. And then from the weekend onwards, we just have this cooling trend. And actually, by the time we get into the first week of November, it looks like we're going pretty chilly, maybe even quite cold with some of those ensemble members. So a change coming in for the start of November, something a lot cooler, even colder, and also rather unsettled as well. Precipitation-wise, there's going to be a reasonable amount of dry weather for London over the next few days. It will be wetter in the north and west, but in the south and east it will be drier there. But through the weekend, in particular, it looks like it's turning very unsettled. We're going to have some heavy rain coming through over the weekend. And as we go through the first week of November, it looks rather changeable, I have to say. There's plenty of precipitation spikes there. So looking colder and wet, or cold and wetter, or cold and changeable, through the first week of November. Temperature anomalies on the 25th of October to 2nd of November going to be milder than average in the weekend. Look how mild it is across Europe. Nearly all areas coming out with above average temperatures in weekend. Precipitation anomalies on the 25th of October to the 2nd of November are going to be wetter than average, especially so for western parts of England and Wales. Eastern Scotland, though, and maybe Northern Ireland, coming out a little bit drier. Latest wind from that from earthnullschool.net shows that we've got westerlies today, bringing in sunshine and showers. Those showers are particularly in the north and west. There is more low pressure in the Atlantic. Yeah, that's going to be on its way to us later on in the week, and particularly so for northern and western areas. Right, let's have a look at some chart data. This is how the UK Met is looking for midnight on Thursday, when we're going to be in a southwesterly wind, so it will be mild, but there will be a weather front that's in the north and west, and that will bring outbreaks of rain through there. Wind sort of shifts round to the south a little bit on Friday, because this area of low pressure begins to develop to the south of Ireland, and then that pushes in across the country as we go from Friday into Saturday, bringing some quite heavy rain with it. Into the rest of the weekend, so this is Sunday, Halloween, Sunday 31st of October. Again, looking very unsettled with low pressure pushing up from the southwest, and that's how we look as we get to a week out. This is midnight on Monday, 1st of November, and we're looking really wet and windy, man. Deep low pressure right over top of the country will bring spells of heavy rain. And beginning to get a little bit cold as well as that low pressure pushes through. We'll probably start turning wind into the north. So that's how things get a little bit colder into the early part of November via this deep area of low pressure. As far as we go to with the UK Met, let's have a look at the GFS midnight run. Again, we're in this southwesterly push on Thursday. That will bring very mild air to the south, it will be more unsettled though in the north. Wet and windy for Friday, particularly so for northern and western area. Maybe a little bit of a break as we start Saturday, but then in comes this deepening area of low pressure from the southwest. The GFS midnight run really does turn that into a major area of low pressure, significant storm actually over the weekend. This is a big day on Halloween, on certainly 31st of October, so we've got a Halloween storm here. So that'd be a bit of a washout for the trick-or-treaters, wouldn't it? We'll give plenty of heavy rain and also strong winds as well. Look how tightly packed the isobars are around that area of low pressure. By the 1st of November, so that's like severe gales potentially, by the 1st of November, a week today, the low pressure is getting out into the North Sea and starting to pull in a colder wind from the north and northwest. And then more low pressure dives in within that cold northwesterly wind, so that will bring further rain into the opening days of November, and really cool temperatures as well. Day 10, we're in a showery northwesterly, and pretty cool, maybe even cold enough, so shower 10 a little bit wintry in the north. A little bit milder there as we go beyond day 10, turning wind into the west for a while, but it looks like really we are setting up like a northwest southeast alignment to a jet stream here. So as we go into the second week of November, it looks pretty cool. I mean, we're not talking about anything really cold at the moment. It's too early for real cold, but it certainly looks pretty chilly and below average, I think, for the first week or 10 days of November overall, probably. This is how the 6Z is looking. So again, we've got this southwesterly wind on Thursday. That will be very mild, but will bring rain to the north and west. And rain pushes across the country as we go for Friday. Saturday might get a little bit of a break for a while, but only as more low pressure sort of rolls in. Although the 6Z does not generate that major storm that the midnight run was showing. So low pressure is still pushing through over weekend, bringing outbreaks of rain at times, and also starting to pull cooler air in from the northwest, well, from the North Atlantic, but not really winding that low pressure up into a major storm like the midnight GFS run was indicating. Into opening days of November, still looking unsettled, so low pressure digging in from the northwest, got a northwest southeast line to jet stream. Remember, the jet stream on these charts indicated by the black line here, so you can see we're on the cool side of a jet stream. We're lining the jet stream up northwest to southeast in that sort of trajectory, and so that allows these areas of low pressure to dig in from the North Atlantic. So look, as we get to day 10, which is the 4th of November at 6 a.m. And yeah, we're looking unsettled and cool there. Winds are coming in from the northwest. In more extended range again, we turn wind round to west-southwest towards the end of the first week of November, so that does get a little bit milder for a few days, though it's still quite changeable. And another significant area of low pressure whipping itself up there on the 7th of November, so that's another sort of windstorm and heavy rain as well. And we finish up looking like that. So by the very end of the GFS 6Z, starting to build in some higher pressure within a relatively cool air mass, however. Right, so the GEM looks like this. If you enjoyed the video, by the way, please can you smash the like button to make sure you sub to the channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. And drop a comment. Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. We're going to put on around another 40 subscribers now to get to 12.4k. So please give us a sub. Thank you so much. Right, this is how the GEM looks. Again, southwesterly winds on Thursday bring very mild air. And outbreaks of rain to the north and the west. Stays unsettled through the end of week and into weekend as well. Deep area of low pressure pushes through over weekend. Will bring significantly strong winds and also outbreaks of heavy and persistent rain as well, with that area of low pressure not developing into kind of wind storm that the GFS midnight run had. But nevertheless, it is quite a deep area of low pressure. It will bring lots of wind and rain over the weekend. In towards day 10, we take that low pressure to our east. We start to pull wind in from the northwest to the north, so it begins to get quite a lot colder as well around days 8, 9, and 10. So as we get to day 10 itself, so cool and showery there with northwesterly winds. And we've got another area of low pressure around Iceland. I suspect if we could run on any further, we would probably see this low around Iceland sort of going in that direction, northwest to southeast once again. And then got the ECM which looks like this. Mild southwest winds on Thursday with rain in the north and west. Weather system pushed across the country on Friday will bring some quite wet weather with it into the weekend. So again, not deep area of low pressure, but certainly low pressure around, bringing spells of rain with it, and cool temperatures as well, cooler temperatures as we begin to pull wind in from the north and from the northwest. Heading up towards day 10, same as all the other model data, low pressure to our east, a ridge out to our west, that turns the wind into the northwest or even the north. It will be quite a cold start to November, and as this ridge builds in around day 10, that could lead to overnight frost and maybe some fog for bonfire night. This is the precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from tometeo.com. So at the moment, the rain, particularly in the north and west, not much in the south and in the southeast for the next few days. This wet weather does get very stuck later on in the week through northwest England down to Wales and southwest England. That is many hours there of just continuous, very heavy rain around the middle part of the week. So that does look a bit worrying in terms of flooding. Eventually that all gets out of the way and we go into like a showery regime until we get to the weekend, and then we've got more low pressure coming in from the west and south. That could bring a bit of a soaking to more southern and eastern areas perhaps over the weekend. And then beyond that we get the wind into the north, so we're going into like a colder showery scenario for the opening days of November and the beginning of next week as well, of course. And yeah, we finish up though with high pressure building in. Again, that is within quite a cold air mass though, so that could bring some overnight frost and maybe some fog for the beginning of November. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10. Gets us to the 4th of November. 27 members of the ECM ensembles have high pressure to our west, ridging in, and low pressure is to the east. So I mean, we will be pulling in wind from the northwest. That it's going to be quite cold, but as high pressure comes in, it will be turning a bit drier. 13 just have this deep area of low pressure right over top of the country, so that's very unsettled. And with high pressure in the middle of the Atlantic, that's also going to be quite cool as well. And then 11 with low pressure to our east, high pressure to our west, and we bring in the wind like that, northwest to southeast alignment with the jet stream. They all look pretty chilly, I have to say, all those options at day 10. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Will get us to the 9th of November. 13 members of the ECM ensembles then have high pressure to our south and east, low pressure is to the north. So that's flatter and more westerly, so that's a milder scenario. We have 12 that look like they're trying to build up a bit of a Scandinavian high with low pressure to our southeast. That will begin to bring in the wind from a bit of an easterly direction, so that could be quite cold. 10 with high pressure to the west of Ireland, probably going to bring down a pretty chilly northerly with that. 8 have high pressure blocking to our north, so just generally high pressure like from southern Greenland up towards Scandinavia. And so that's going to be anticyclonic but cold with winds in from the east, and another 8 with low pressure to our east and northeast, high pressure to our southwest. And with this we send the jet stream again on northwest southeast alignment, so that's more unsettled, probably quite showery and rather cold as well. So actually most of the options are still looking quite cool, I have to say. Maybe even you would say, you know, on the cold side, right the way out to the 9th of November. So it'll be interesting to see whether we come away, you know, for the first week, 10 days of November, with a below average temperature. Right, lastly, CFS V2. These are 500 millibar heights. Break it down into week periods. The first week period takes from the 25th to 31st of October. The coming week has low pressure, increasingly moving in from the Atlantic. So we go through to week 2, which is the 1st and the 7th of November, looking really unsettled, deep low pressure in off the Atlantic. That's going to bring lots of wet weather with it. We have got northern blocking setting up around Greenland as well, but also with high pressure to our south-southeast. We probably maintain a relatively mild air mass, but we're not all that far from turning quite a lot colder there. Week 3 looks colder. This is the 8th to the 14th of November. high pressure takes over around Greenland and Iceland and ridges into the coast. That's a cold ridge, so it would be turning drier, of course, with high pressure much more strong, but also colder as winds are coming in from the north with that. Then we go through to week 4, which is the 15th to 21st of November. High pressure then is up round Svalbard. And I'm so sorry, everybody. And low pressure is across Ireland and the UK and digging down into France. We would send the jet stream southwards, so that looks pretty cool as well, maybe even quite cold. And we could almost be starting to pull in like an easterly wind with that. So the CFS is looking a bit on the cold side, really, for November. Be interesting to see how this plays out, won't it? When we released our autumn forecast, we always said, remember, we said September, October, warmer, drier. November gets a flip, but we was unsure what the flip would be in November. Would it be a flip to wet? Would it be a flip to cold? Maybe it could be a flip to both. We shall see. Time will tell, but it's all starting to look rather interesting, I have to say, as we're moving in towards November. Right, if you enjoyed the video, please can you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Tell your friends and family to subscribe as well. And drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And if you do sub, you'll be able to see future weather content, including future live streams and also winter updates. And maybe in a week or two's time, that's a few weeks, some snow watches too. We'll see. Right, that's it then for this video. We're going to be back at 6 with part 2 of the 8th Winter 2021-2022 update. It's the analogue side of the 8th update, and it's a QBO special. So there's going to be lots of interest in this one, I think. And so, yeah, winters with strong easterly QBOs. What does it mean? What are the parameters? You're going to find out at 6 p.m. So make sure you check that one out. And then that'll be the end of the 8th Winter Update, of course, in 2 parts. And we'll be rolling on to the 9th Update next weekend. Right, so you enjoyed that. Enjoy the rest of your Monday as well. And just say what's coming up tomorrow. We'll have the 7 a.m. forecast, of course. We'll have the EC 30-day look ahead tomorrow. And if that wasn't enough, a 10 to 14 day or two. So keep checking back for all of the content. But for this one, though, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.